Once upon a time, a girl woke up injured on a mysterious island. Meanwhile, Madison, the main character of our story, was in Thailand. Madison was a social media star and a vlogger who loved visiting new places and sharing videos with her fans. Her trip to Thailand had been planned by her close friend, John, who wanted to join her. However, John had some work to finish and would arrive a little later, leaving Madison to explore on her own. Madison visited several places and clicked pictures while staying in a hotel. The next morning, she started making a video about a product but found herself feeling unmotivated. She missed John and kept messaging him, asking him to join her quickly. John reassured her he was trying his best to come soon. 2 days later, while Madison was at a bar, an old man approached her, offering money and asking her to come home with him. Madison felt deeply uncomfortable and asked him to leave, but the man refused. Just then, another character in the story, CW, stepped in. CW was a local resident who knew the area well. She intervened, embarrassed the old man, and sent him away. Impressed by CW's actions, Madison started talking to her. CW warned Madison about people like the old man and advised her to be careful. Madison confided in CW about John canceling his plans and how she had to travel alone. She shared that people often think vloggers have glamorous lives, but in reality, their work is challenging and lonely. CW revealed that she was a guide who took visitors to unexplored places, and since they had become friends, she offered to take Madison on a trip as a companion, not as a customer. Madison agreed, and the two of them traveled to many places on CW's bike. Madison created some great vlogs during their adventures. Later, they visited a club and enjoyed a delicious meal together. After an exciting day, Madison returned to her hotel, feeling happy because her vlogs were getting lots of views. However, her joy turned to sorrow when she discovered her hotel room door wide open. All her belongings, including her passport, had been stolen. Madison was heartbroken and informed CW, who helped her file a complaint and get a form to apply for a new passport. Unfortunately, the process would take 2 weeks, and Madison couldn't stay in Thailand for so long as she had a brand commitment in America. That night, she called John to share what had happened. Instead of being concerned for her well-being, John seemed more worried about her money, leaving Madison feeling even more upset. Madison was heartbroken. She started crying because John, instead of asking about her well-being, was only concerned about the money. This made her angry, and she decided to end their relationship. She hung up the call and tried to move on. With no choice but to stay in Thailand until her passport arrived, Madison began traveling with CW. During this time, she uploaded many photos and videos that received lots of positive attention. Madison asked CW to take photos with her, but CW always refused. Madison found this strange and wondered if CW was self-conscious about a mark on her face. She decided not to press the issue. One day, CW invited Madison to her house, which was located on a beautiful beach. While there, CW suggested they visit a small, remote island the next day. She described it as a stunning and rarely visited place. Madison, excited by the idea of creating unique content for her vlog, quickly agreed. Before dawn, CW prepared her boat, and the two of them set out for the island. Madison was vlogging the journey, unaware that this would be one of the worst decisions of her life. After hours of travel, they reached the island. It was breathtaking, but they discovered something strange. A log with 7 lines drawn on it, as if someone had been counting days. This made Madison wonder if someone was living there or had been trapped. Despite the mystery, the island's beauty distracted her. That night they lit a fire and sat talking. However, the next morning brought a shocking twist. When Madison woke up, CW was gone. But CW's disappearance was only the beginning. She had stolen Madison's identity. CW returned to the mainland, hacked all of Madison's accounts, and replaced Madison's photos with her own. She started wearing Madison's clothes, creating vlogs, and taking photos with people as if she were Madison. Every day, she posted on Madison's accounts, fooling everyone into believing she was the real Madison. John meanwhile grew worried. Madison hadn't called or replied to his messages for days, which was unusual. He didn't know that CW had Madison's phone and was ignoring his attempts to reach out. By now, CW assumed Madison was dead. CW wasn't new to this. She had done the same thing to 4 other girls before Madison. Now, she began searching for her next victim. Soon she found another target, a young lawyer who had come to Thailand alone. CW discovered the details of the lawyer's life, including the hotel where she was staying. To execute her plan, CW booked a room in the same hotel and began closely watching the lawyer. Slowly, CW infiltrated her life, eventually stealing the keys from the lawyer's bag. Just as she had done with Madison, CW carried out her sinister plan, leaving the lawyer helpless. One day, CW invited the lawyer to a grand house, claiming it was hers. In reality, the house belonged to Madison. At the house, CW unexpectedly encountered John, who had come with his set of keys to surprise Madison. Caught off guard, CW lied, telling John that Madison had told her about their breakup. John, however, didn't believe her, insisting that Madison was just angry and would never truly leave him. The next day, John called Madison's phone. CW, using AI technology, answered in Madison's voice. She manipulated the conversation to make John believe that Madison had moved on and left the house for good. Despite this, John stayed behind, convinced that Madison would eventually return. As John shared details about Madison with the lawyer began to piece things together. She realized that what John described about Madison's situation mirrored her own experiences with CW. Being a lawyer and experienced with such cases, she started investigating CW. Her suspicions were confirmed when she sent a message from Madison's account, and the notification appeared on CW's phone. This convinced her that CW had done something terrible to Madison. The lawyer decided to leave the house immediately. She packed her belongings, but just as she was about to leave, CW arrived. Sensing danger, the lawyer acted normal but confronted CW, saying, "John has told me everything. The same things you did to Madison you've done to me. I'm not an ordinary girl. If you mess with me, my dad will find you and make you pay." However, CW wouldn't let the lawyer escape so easily. In a sudden act of violence, CW attacked the lawyer, killing her and making her the 5th victim. Shortly after, John arrived, alerted by the commotion. But CW erased all evidence before he could figure out what had happened. John left, unaware of what had transpired. Later, CW sneaked into John's room to deal with him as well. At that moment, her phone buzzed with a notification. John had posted a picture of himself with the lawyer and Madison, creating a new challenge for CW. She panicked, fearing someone might recognize her face, and decided to delete the photo. The next morning, CW lied to John, claiming the lawyer had gone home. But during this time, a surprising event occurred. Madison's account posted a photo of her with a boy. CW had uploaded the photo using Madison's account, but John didn't know this. Seeing the post, he became sad, thinking that Madison truly didn't want to be with him anymore. CW noticed John's disappointment and gave him false hope to keep him from leaving too soon. While going through Madison's account, John noticed some of her recent photos. Their quality was poor, and her follower count was dropping. That night, CW took John to a bar and secretly spiked his drink. When John became intoxicated and unaware of his surroundings, CW took him back home. She used the opportunity to delete the suspicious photos from his phone. The next morning when John woke up, he felt uncertain about staying any longer. He decided it was time to leave, clearing the way for CW to continue her deceit without interference. That same day, CW burned all of Madison's belongings, including her passport, erasing more traces of her existence. John, however, was emotional as he reflected on his relationship with Madison. He thought back to when they first met. She was just an ordinary girl, and they had worked hard together to build the life they had. As he reminisced, something struck him. The photo he had seen earlier of Madison with another boy. In the background of the photo, he noticed a hotel. This realization sparked a thought. Perhaps Madison had stayed at that hotel. Driven by this, John decided to visit the hotel to investigate. When he arrived, he asked about Madison, but the staff informed him that she had never been there. While John was there, he encountered the old man who had previously caused trouble for Madison. The man noticed Madison's photo on John's phone wallpaper and recognized her. He recalled an incident where he had been insulted in her presence. This led to a conversation between John and the old man. Through their discussion, John discovered that the photos Madison had recently posted were fake. The old man also revealed something crucial. He had seen Madison the last time she was there, and she had been with CW. John was determined to uncover the truth. He started digging deeper and discovered something shocking. By removing a filter from one of Madison's videos, he realized that the person behind her disappearance was none other than CW. Fueled by rage and a need for answers, John headed straight to CW's house and waited for her return. As soon as CW arrived, John ambushed her, knocking her unconscious. He tied her to a chair and waited for her to wake up. When she regained consciousness, John demanded to know what had happened to Madison. But CW refused to answer. John threatened to call the police, but CW turned the tables, accusing him instead. She claimed the police would suspect him, as Madison's last message was sent to him. Still, John forced CW onto a boat, demanding she take him to Madison. CW pretended to agree, but it was all part of her plan. Once they were far out in the water, CW pushed John overboard. She then suffocated him in the water, killing him mercilessly. It was now clear, CW was a cold-hearted serial killer. Returning home, CW covered her tracks by posting from Madison's account. She wrote that her friend John had beaten her, stolen all her money, and run away. This post created the illusion that John was a fugitive, not a victim. To further solidify her deception, CW even wore the engagement ring John had bought for Madison. The next day, CW noticed that Madison's followers were sympathizing with her fake posts. But CW wasn't finished yet. There was one final task. A few days later, she traveled to an island to destroy any remaining evidence. However, upon reaching the island, she stumbled upon something unexpected. A fire burning with fish cooking on it and a tent nearby. CW was shocked. Could Madison still be alive? Determined to find out, CW ventured into the jungle. Suddenly, Madison appeared from behind and struck CW on the head, catching her off guard. Wasting no time, Madison ran to the boat where she found John's lifeless body. She felt a deep sense of sorrow seeing him like that, but she knew she had to escape to save herself. Madison quickly fled the island, but as she left, CW began to regain consciousness. Instead of panicking or chasing after Madison, CW laughed. Her eerie laughter echoed in the quiet jungle, revealing her twisted mind. It was clear CW wasn't afraid. She was confident she'd find a way off the island. With that haunting laugh, the story ends, leaving a chilling question. If CW could find her way to this island, would she find her way out and return for revenge?